Kept you waiting, huh?
Welcome everybody to the Metal Gear Solid HD collection.
And that's right, we're going to start our chronological,
And now,
sort of chronological for the time venture.
With Metal Gear Solid 3?
Well, we're going to start with Metal Gear Solid. Metal Gear, sorry. Okay, like in the old ways, like back in the old day, we needed to read the manual to see the plot, so let's go. Dwebs, you read it.
In the late 1980s, a mercenary, said to be heroic and possibly crazy, established a fortified state called Outer Heaven in a remote area of South Africa. And now there is movement in Outer Heaven. There are rumors that they are developing a weapon of mass destruction so terrifying it could change the face of warfare for the entire world.
They call it the Jim Belushi program.
I'm talking here. Operative Gray Fox, a member of the Special Forces Group Foxhound, is dispatched to gather information on this WMD. However, several days later, he goes missing, leaving only his last transmission, Metal Gear.
In other news, he went to join the cast of Star Fox.
Is Gray Fox's disappearance proof that the rumors of the WMD are true? Foxhound is tasked with a mission once again. This time, the Foxhound operative will be the newly recruited rookie, me, Solid Snake. His mission will be to follow up on Gray Fox's disappearance, investigate the true nature of Metal Gear, and destroy it. Solid Snake will head into enemy territory for the very first time, alone, and equipped with only a transceiver. It is rumored that the best mercenaries from all over the world can be found in Outer Heaven. Will Solid Snake be able to successfully complete his mission? Foxhound Commander-in-Chief Big Boss's voice crackles over the transceiver.
Solid Snake, this is not a drill. This is real combat. Good luck.
And he began to hear gunfire in his head.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is where it all starts.
Back
you
in
want to start
1987.
the story?
Yeah, indeed. By the way, for the sake of Dwebs, the reason we're starting with Metal Gear Solid 3 Dwebs is because Metal Gear Solid 3 comes with Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake. So... Okay, for the sake of Shiro, who's a newbie to Metal Gear, allow me to explain something.
Hello.
Back in the mid-80s, aside from platformers, action games were all the rage. Games like Contra, and a lot of other shooters were basically... Go away! Yay!
Fuck off!
No, we can't. Remember, we can't use that logo anymore.
Yeah, and by the way...
yeah, that's right, it's
also,
a skeleton now.
Also, yay for that one.
Yeah, Blue Point Games,
Blue Point Games.
the master of remasters themselves, remastered these games. Anyway.
Welcome to Metal Gear Solid 3.
Snake Eater. Alright, so let's pick Metal Gear. There we go. So like I was saying, back in the mid-80s, action games were all the rage. Subtlety was not in the player's vocabulary. It was a formula that sold a lot of cartridges. So it would take a brave visionary to break that mold.
Aw, you're going on easy.
But to make my recording process easier, Jova. Anyway.
Yeah, anyway.
Fair enough.
Where was I going? Oh, yeah. And so it would take a brave visionary to break that mold, but I'll get back to that.
Oh boy.
This is Big Boss. Operation Intrude and Free 103. I'll infiltrate the enemy's base, Outer Heaven, and destroy the ultimate weapon, Metal Gear.
It's not deceased Tong Xiaoping's head.
Let's go over the details first. Make contact with Gray Fox, and find the location of the ultimate weapon, Metal Gear.
Gray Fox, I'll be playing him.
Right.
Let's use frequency 120.85 for all communications from now on. Over.
Oh,
Really, the one in the
which Gray
portrait
Fox
is
voice do you
Solid
want me to
Snake,
go for?
right?
Yes. Alright, so like I was, let's show the controls for the sake of the audience. Okay, basically, Shiroi, it would take a brave visionary to break that mold, obviously. Enter Hideo Kojima, who joined Konami in 1986, and he, believe it or not, back when he started out, he was considered terrible by his colleagues.
Yeah,
Penguin.
up until
Remember
the point
the
he only
Penguin
made
game?
a game called Police Quest, which was treated as a kind of a joke.
Indeed.
Trio, don't forget his involvement in that ever so cutesy Penguin game.
This is Big Boss. The mission is infiltration. Make sure that the enemy does not discover your whereabouts. Over. So yeah.
Big Boss.
Eventually, Shiroi, but he got his one last chance to prove himself before being fired from Konami. To make a successful game.
What is it now?
Since action games were all the rage back then, he was told to make an action game. However, Kojima didn't really want to make a game where you just shoot people. Instead, he wanted to make a game where stealth was important, to avoid combat as much as possible.
It wasn't just that. There was also the fact, like, well, they were sort of having issues when originally this game was supposed to be an action game. See, contrary to what a lot of people actually think, Kojima wasn't even the guy originally in charge of this. It's like, originally this was going to be like, you know, like a 3D
Contra clone, basically.
version of Contra. Yeah. But here's the thing, though. They sort of had trouble, you know, with lagging and stuff, and oh my god, you actually are going to abuse that.
Yes, I am.
Kid, but yeah.
What is this?
Basically, the item respawns every time you re-enter the truck.
Okay.
Anywho, back to what I was saying. Oh god, the card! I'll talk more on that later. Anywho, basically, this was the MSX they were using, and the MSX was quite a pain to deal with when rendering a lot of action. You know, kind of inconvenient when you're trying to make an action game. So basically, instead, Kojima shifted it to be more stealth-focused, since, well, the game couldn't really handle a lot of enemies in all the areas. So instead, Kojima made it more stealth-based. The idea is to sneak past enemies. If you don't, you'll either have to deal with deadly traps or unbelievable amount of guards wailing on you.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Basically,
and trust,
the key to beating this game, especially if you're playing on the original hard mode, is to not be detected at all, because even if you get all the guns, you will never be strong enough to take on all the enemies. This is a game where the stealth is the utmost importance. You cannot use brute force to beat this game.
Hey guys, I got something to say.
Speaking of guns,
hold on, Solid Snake.
I always found it weird how.
Go ahead, Solid.
I am Error.
Alright.
Very funny. You know, one thing I always wonder is, like, why did Snake need to get the handgun? I mean, you'd think he would have had the gun on him from the get-go, you know, being this
because
new
I
Wookiee at the
needed
time.
to get past security, you idiot.
Because gameplay reasons, Jovo.
And besides, the gun has 0 bullets inside it, so for now it's useless.
Oh, I get it. It's the mentality that picking up another gun increases the ammo.
By the way, for the
enough.
sake of newbies like Shiroi, allow me to explain. You remember how in the manual they mentioned WMD, Shiroi?
Yes.
Basically, acronyms are abundant in Metal Gear.
Okay.
CQC, QIA, MIA. WMD stands for Weapons of Mass Destruction. Basically, Metal Gear is the world's biggest weapon of mass destruction, and our job is to destroy it. Basically.
Okay, Pedro, if I recall correctly, you just used a card key to open that door, right?
No, the elevators don't require keycards.
Stop calling
right,
me.
This is Big Boss. Watch out for the surveillance cameras. Over.
Boss, stop calling me. Do you think I don't know that?
Oh, that's right.
Well, you are a rookie at this point.
Basically, Shiroi, I can always call Big Boss for hints.
Okay.
So basically the codec thing was always there from the start, basically.
Security cameras.
Basically, if the security cameras attack me, it will sound an alarm and soldiers will come toward me. So, once again, don't get detected.
Yeah, I have to give Kojima credit. For the time, this was groundbreaking.
No, for
and
the
actually
time,
rather
this game,
creative.
nobody has ever played a game like this before. I mean, this was a time where people were used to just shooting everything on sight. And here was a game, no, don't get seen. Otherwise, you're fucked.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Sega technically did do a stealthing, but let's be real. This was a game that combined the 3D platform, well, okay, not platform, but this was a game that added in, you know, basically mixed the overhead 3D view from Zelda games, mixed in with stealth things that was amazing. Not to mention a neat, smooth frame rate for the time. And trust me, that. And also mechanics that at this point were off the charts.
The random prisoners will be played by either Teo or you.
Alright.
I'm saying.
Pedro, are you going to use one of the card keys in this part, by the way?
This is Big Boss. I forgot to tell you. You'll need a gas mask to the gas room. I just used one, actually. Jovo.
Oh, goody! This is my time, then, after
Go
you
ahead.
read this.
Sir Schneider, the leader of the resistance, should be able to tell you where you got a gas mask. Over.
I'm looking forward to Metal Gear Solid 2. I mean, I'm looking forward to Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake World of BB giving you the helpful advice. But yeah, okay. Warning to all newcomers, especially to the Metal Gear games. The card keys. Rule number 1. You will need to pay extreme mind to the card keys. Basically, the card keys are kind of like the thing that make this game kind of a guide game.
Sorry, what was that, Jova?
Let's just say, Shiroi, this game does suffer a bit from being a 1980s game. Go ahead, Jova.
Okay. Basically,
Okay.
with card keys, it's incredibly cryptic with which doors you need to use the card keys for. Not to mention the fact that you can eventually lose a card key, use it up here and there, and then you're going to have to backtrack.
Sure,
Or in some
let me interrupt you
cases,
just for
in
5
some very
seconds.
rare cases, you can get stuck.
Let me interrupt you for just 5 seconds. One thing you can do, if you get detected and you go into an elevator, it will reset the detection thing. So you can, basically, if you get detected, run to an elevator and you'll be fine. Go ahead, Jova.
Ah, sweet tunnel vision.
Where are those boxes where I need them?
We haven't gotten a cardboard box yet, so can't use them yet.
Yeah, believe it or not, Shiroi, a cardboard box is the best way to hide in these
Stop
games.
calling me!
Well, they're so good that they still use them.
Oh, trust me, Shiroi, the games will go out of their way to show you how amazing cardboard boxes are. Trust me.
Well, yeah, I mean, who's gonna look in a cardboard box?
Alright, so like Big Boss said,
Even Smash Brothers emphasizes how important the box is.
Well, that's what you
Wow.
get. That's what you get for being lazy, deaf.
Or
Vanishing off the
disappearing
screen.
into the void. Oh, good. You're gonna need that gas mask. Yeah, that's another thing. Okay, yeah. In addition to card keys being cryptic, also rooms can be very cryptic. Now I know situation is realistically Snake himself wouldn't know that easily, but it feels a bit dickish when the game will kind of punish you a bit unfairly. Also, Snake, you have a call.
It's the same call that I got every time
I
you get.
I know. Part of the running gag.
Yeah. Boss. Boss.
Yes.
Don't call me for something unless it's important.
Very well, Snake.
Also, I hope no one else can hear the phone ringing,
All
otherwise
you're
you're
doing is
affected quite easily.
Oh, here. Basically,
all
these
you're
guards.
doing is hindering my
these-
progress.
Basically, these guards are shifting, switching shifts. So I took advantage of that to get into the elevator without being seen.
Now, you're probably wondering why Pedro is going back and forth between rooms. Pedro, care to give the get-go on that?
The reason for that is because this game works a lot like Jova himself said. This game works a lot like the first Zelda game from the NES. Oh, I can just get to that.
Yeah. For
There-
better or for worse.
Notice how
Ooh,
the
yeah, love that music.
notice how the music is still playing, and you'll always be in pursued while this music is still playing. So basically, keep running until the music stops. Okay.
Yeah, that's
Basically,
another
like
thing
I was
like
saying,
about
this game
this
plays a
Zelda.
lot like the original Zelda for the NES, where you have to explore this a lot to find items so you can use them in different places. So basically, exploration is also one big key of this game. Explore.
Oh, and you think that...
Search every
okay.
room for items. Search every room for ammo. You'll need everything you can find.
Oh, Pedro, you're forgetting one important thing.
Yes.
Search the room for the car keys. The car keys!
Well, of course. That's why I said everything. Okay, so
Trust me,
basically,
Pedro, the car keys deserve their own special mention.
yeah. Basically, Shiroi, in Metal Gear. Oh, go ahead, too.
Thanks for saving me.
Oh yeah, hostage rescuing. We'll get to that later.
Foxhole member that infiltrated this base a few days ago is unarmed. How they
I'll
know
give
that, I don't know.
Oh yeah.
They captured him.
Oh yeah, that's another thing this game was a pioneer in. Helpful NPCs.
Yep.
Okay, go on, Pedro. You were saying...
Basically, Shiroi, rations are your best friend in these games. Every time you use a ration, you restore, if not all of it. In this game, it's all of it. But in most games, it's most of your HP.
Barrels?
Health.
Okay, this is an interesting security measure.
Don't touch this thing. It's a one-hit kill, by the way. Second, what was I going? Oh yeah. Basically, Shiroi, whenever you're low on HP in these games, you can just pause and go back to the equipment menu and use a ration. So as soon as you find a ration, like I did, stock up on rations like I did, because you will need those rations for the tougher boss battles.
Wow, Pedro.
What is that?
Your bravery to... Okay, you can't care anymore. Your bravery to... Well, actually, yeah, you have a point. Considering how rations are in this game, I can't blame you for abusing that.
Well, then again,
Right.
Jova, let's consider about this. The way this game is structured, you kind of need to do that anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, anywho, going back to the card keys, though. The card keys get special mention for several reasons. Well, like I said before, they're incredibly cryptic. However, that's only the surface of it. See, the card keys work for certain doors only. You need the right number. And what also sucks is that you can only hold a certain number of card keys. You can imagine how things can get a bit frustrating with that. There's one thing I remember about Metal Gears, well, both Metal Gears, but more so Metal Gear 1. It was constantly having to go back and forth, switching each card key. Doesn't even make sense in context. Why can't Snake hold more than just that select few number of card keys?
Yeah.
It's one thing that always bugged me.
As you can see, as you saw for the previous screen,
I can understand the ammunition. Oh, sorry.
As you saw for the previous screen, Shiroi, where I avoided those two soldiers, it's all about studying the patterns of the soldiers and finding an opening and trying to get by without them noticing you.
I'm busy here.
This is Big Boss.
It may be important.
I forgot to tell you. In order to turn off the juice, you'll have to destroy the electrical power panel.
Basically, I wish I had an actual general helping me.
You need an RC man.
Don't worry, that's what Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake is for.
I'm Big Boss, the legendary soldier. Who better to help you?
That too.
Yeah, the legendary soldier and also the legendary annoyance. This is Solid Snake. Come in.
No answer.
Damn it.
Odd.
Die.
Oh, yeah, you're still there now.
Okay. Oh, don't worry, Shuri. Prepare for things to get even more weird by the calls.
Yeah.
And
we found card number 2. Basically, Shiroi, every card... there are a total of 9 key cards, and basically you need to get all of them to open all the doors.
So how might you lose one?
No, you don't. You can't lose key cards.
Oh, I think you said to keep an eye on them.
Well, okay.
Basically, what happens is like, well, you replace some of them when you pick one up.
Yeah. Okay.
Because for some reason there's a limit on the card keys you can have with you, which
the annoying thing, Shiro, is that you never know which card opens which door, so you kind of have to rustle for your inventory, trying all cards on.
That's quite inconvenient.
It is. It's
and like I said, you're occasionally gonna have to replace one card key with another. So if perchance the card key you replaced is the one that opens the door, you're gonna have to go all the way to that.
That's incredibly luck-based.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, unfortunately, this game suffers from the time it was made. It was made at a time when video games had a lot of stuff like this, and yeah, it suffers for it.
Using a guide for this playthrough,
do all
by
the
way?
key cards look the same?
They do. No, it's not. It's not. It's not.
It would have helped.
No, Shiro. We can tell.
Slightly different.
No, Shiro. It's not the key
so
cards.
Much that the card keys themselves look the same. It's the fact that the doors have no indication of which card.
See, Shiro. Each card has a number, so we know which level the key card is. The problem is that the doors themselves don't have key card numbers until the first Metal Gear Solid game. So yeah, aka the third game.
It's nice being a 90s kid.
Yeah. It's like okay. It's like I'd be alright with this if not for the fact that they gave, for some reason, card keys a limitation of what.
You know what's also sad about this, Shiro? One of Kojima's plans after Metal Gear Solid 5 was to remake the first 2 Metal Gears. But of course, for reasons
that Konami are a bunch of asshats.
So yeah.
Damn.
Not to mention, it was gonna be it was gonna be using the Fox engine and everything.
Ow!
But don't worry, guys.
You're killing Jova, Pedro.
Hey guys, don't worry. There's a solution to it.
What?
What, a pachinko machine?
Pachinko!
No. I was talking about Kojima.
I talk about the fan remake.
No. I wasn't. I was just talking about Kojima.
Yeah. What is it?
Oh, I thought you were talking about the fan remake, which is using the special engine. Unfortunately, that's a remake of Metal Gear Solid 1.
Because it'll probably end up making like a not Metal Gear thing.
I wouldn't count on that, Dwebs. He's been planning on moving on from Metal Gear for years now. I'm pretty sure at this point he just wants to move on.
You want to know the sad thing is, like, well, I always get...
We'll see.
He has plenty of other ideas. You want to know the sad thing is, like, well, I honestly get the feeling that Kojima would be fine still making Metal Gear Solid games if Konami hadn't run him into the ground with Metal Gear Solid. It's like, well, give the man some breathing room and let him do some other stuff.
Yeah.
I mean,
Silent Hills was supposed to be that break, but of course we can't have nice things.
Exactly.
Keep healthy, V. Down from the resistors will provide support of frequency 120.33.
That's gonna be you, Shiroi. Diane.
Frequency.
Sorry, Pedro.
You will play Diane, the one he's talking about. By the way, what?
Okay.
Hey, what about the text? Do you like the text? Do you think it's?
Oh yeah, it's fine.
All right then.
As long as I don't have to read the manual.
This is Solid Snake. Come in.
Everything else is all good.
This is Steve.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Webs.
Diane.
If I know Diane, she's gone shopping. Won't have to come back yet.
Webs, don't you think you should give Steve a different voice than Snake?
I'm very bad at disguising my voice.
Alright, so basically we tried calling Diane, but her husband picked up. So, awkward. We'll get back to this.
Okay, now it's time to talk frequencies, the other cryptic thing in the game. Now, okay, for the most part, they give you frequencies you need to find. However, there are going to be some frequencies which, for the sake of the mission, are made covert.
Yeah, Schneider's frequency, basically, it's only told to you near the end of the game, which is a shame because we could have really used that frequency earlier on.
Not only that, but in Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake, there are some frequencies that you need during the game, but you have to kind of random guess, or I think get something from the physical manual.
Actually, no, Joe, but you have to use the manual for the game, which the HD collection does come with, so that problem was solved in the HD collection. Second, and look at what we found, Shiroi!
Oh, what's...
A cardboard box!
Brilliant.
Okay, so...
Silent, deadly,
always
and the last thing anyone would suspect, oh crap!
Okay, Shiroi, but here's how it works. Every time you're immovable inside a cardboard box, the enemies will not pay any attention to you. They think they're just seeing a cardboard box. So basically, this is a good way to get past harder stealth scenes in the game.
However, if they see the box move, common sense will come into play.
We saw that just now.
Oh, come on, this isn't fair.
This is bull.
Remember, Dwebs, we can just go to the menu and use a ration if we need to.
Huh. Trust me, dudes. You want to talk unfair? Wait till we get to Snake's revenge.
Trust me, Dwebs. If you stock up on rations like I did, the boss battle was pretty easy. Trust me.
Well, to be fair, not everyone's gonna think to do that, especially on the first playthrough, playing it blind.
True.
And also, to be fair, the issue with some of the boss battles is like, well, they get a bit too cluttered. And of course, you have the typical problem of like, well, you know, having a protagonist who can only really fire in one direction. It's kind of like what Link was in Legend of Zelda 1.
So we
and
got
why
ourselves
Legend of Zelda Link to the Past was an incredible godsend with stuff like the circular strike.
So yeah, we got ourselves a grenade launcher, but we don't have ammo for it yet. So we'll come back to this later.
So basically, I just got a heavy metal thing.
It's in my pants.
Right.
Alright, Teo, you beat this guy.
Yeah. Rescued!
Yay!
Oh yeah, and
okay,
one more thing,
explain the hostages, Jova, why not?
Okay, hostages are they're not completely a necessity, but they might as well be. Basically, hostages get you like upgrades every time you rescue them, and they upgrade you and get you a higher rank.
Come in.
Basically, you're going to need a certain rank at some point in the game. So yes, rescue every single hostage, and whatever you do, do not accidentally kill a hostage because that will bring your rank down significantly. And if it brings your rank down right before the story segment where you need a certain rank, game over. You're gonna have to start from the beginning because hostages do not respawn.
So yeah, don't kill hostages, basically. But like Johnny said himself in his review, you have to be a severe butterfingers to get in that situation anyway. So,
I'd be doing all that.
My old childhood of accidentally killing a hostage and not knowing that was a hostage haunts me.
All right, everybody. We'll continue looking for Metal Gear in the next part.
You know, that could be something that the enemy could have done. Dress them up as soldiers so that Snake would think they're soldiers and they'll kill them.
It's interesting you said that, Wes, because in Phantom Pain, some outposts have decoys, actual balloon soldiers using as decoys to fool Snake into thinking that the outpost has guarded.
Yeah, needless to say, by Metal Gear Solid 5, the AI has really
the AI in Phantom Pain is fucking brilliant. But we'll get to that. See you, everybody, for the next part.
Yeah. We'll get to that in the future.
Yeah.
See ya.
See ya.